So you want to be a great trader. Well, forget about all those hot stock tips for a second. Forget the secret algorithms. Today, we're diving into the one thing that will literally make or break you. And it's not on a chart. It's the intense battle that's happening right inside your own head every single time you go to place an order. So, let me ask you this. What really separates a profitable trader from one who's just constantly losing money? I mean, is it some secret information they have, a fancy algorithm, or are they just lucky? Well, the answer might surprise you, because it has absolutely nothing to do with what you see on the charts. The truth is, your biggest enemy isn't the market. Nope, it's you. The real fight, the one that actually matters, is internal. And look, mastering your emotions, that isn't just some fluffy, nice idea. It is the hidden skill that will absolutely determine whether you win or lose in this game.
Okay, so if the enemy is inside us, we gotta know what we're fighting, right? It really boils down to three specific emotions. And believe me, these three are responsible for way more losses than any market crash you can think of. So let's break them down one by one.
All right, first up, the big one, fear. You know the feeling. You've done all your homework, you buy a stock, and what happens? It immediately drops 3%. Your heart starts pounding, right? Suddenly, all that research feels totally worthless, and you panic sell. You lock in that loss just to stop the pain. And then, like clockwork, what happens next? The stock turns around and rallies without you. That's fear in action. It just turned a potential winning trade into a guaranteed loss. Now, on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, you've got greed. This is when your trade is working. It's up, you've hit your profit target, but then that little voice in your head starts whispering, right? Hey, what if it goes even higher? So you ignore your plan, you hold on, and then bam, a bad earnings report comes out and all those beautiful gains just vanish. See, greed isn't about being ambitious. It's about refusing to respect the system you created. Okay, now this next one. This one is the silent killer. It's overconfidence. It creeps in after you've had a few good wins in a row. You start to feel, I don't know, invincible, right? Like you finally cracked the code. So what do? You start taking bigger risks. Maybe you get a little lazy on your research. You bend your rules just a little. Overconfidence is that quiet little voice telling you that you're different, that you're the exception. And trust me, the market has a way of teaching exceptions a very, very expensive lesson. So when you look at them side by side, you can really see how fear and greed are just two sides of the exact same destructive coin. Fear makes you sell way too early because you want to avoid that immediate pain. Greed makes you hold on way too long because you're chasing some unrealistic high. But you know what? Both of them, they lead to the exact same place, a smaller account balance. All right, enough doom and gloom. We've identified the enemy, so now the big question is, how do we fight back? And let me be clear, this is not about just trying harder to be less emotional. That's a losing battle. This is about building an airtight, tactical system. Let's get into your first line of defense. Here it is, the pre-trade checklist. Think of this as your weapon. Before you even think about clicking that buy button, you absolutely have to have concrete answers to these 5 questions. And I mean concrete. If you can't answer every single one of these with total clarity, you walk away. You do not make the trade. Period. End of story. So what's the magic here? It's simple, really. The checklist forces you to think before you feel. You're basically making a contract with your future self. You make the plan now while you're calm and rational. That way, when the market gets crazy and your emotions are going nuts, you don't have to think. You don't have to decide. You just execute the plan you made with a clear head. Okay, now I want you to burn this next number into your brain. Seriously, if there is one single rule that can save your trading account from a total catastrophe more than anything else, it's this: 2%. So what does that mean? The 2% rule is simple. You never risk more than 2% of your entire account on any single trade. Let's just walk through this example and makes it super clear. Say you have a $10,000 account. Well, 2% of that is $200. That is your absolute maximum loss on one trade. That's your line in the sand. And that number tells you how big your position can be.
So if your stop loss is 5% below where you buy, the math is easy. Your max position size is 4 grand. See? It takes all the emotional guesswork out of it. And more importantly, it makes sure that any single loss is just a small cut. It's always survivable.
Okay, this next idea is maybe one of the most powerful concepts in all of trading psychology. It's a mantra you need to repeat. Your evidence beats your emotions. Your feelings? They're totally unreliable. But data is permanent. And the absolute best way to gather that cold, hard data is by keeping a detailed record of everything you do.
And look, a trade journal isn't just about writing down your P&L, your profits and losses. No. A proper journal forces you to confront the why behind every trade. And here's the crucial part. You have to log your emotional state when you made the trade, because over time, you're going to build this undeniable body of evidence. This pattern will emerge. You'll see things like, every single time I trade because I'm bored, I lose money. Or, wow, my best trades are always the ones where I follow my checklist to the letter. That evidence, it becomes your own personal, brutally honest trading coach.
So let's bring this all home. What's the real takeaway here? The edge that successful traders have. It's not some secret indicator they found. It's not a faster internet connection. It's actually much simpler and much harder than that. It's just discipline. And that, right there, is the ultimate truth of the market. Your feelings, they are going to lie to you every time. They will scream at you to sell at the very bottom, and they'll whisper for you to buy at the absolute top. It's your system, your rules, your discipline. That is the only thing that will protect you from yourself. You have got to trust your system more than you trust your gut in the heat of the moment.
So I'm going to leave you with one final question to really think about. The next time the market is moving against you, your heart is pounding, you feel that panic setting in. What's going to win? Your carefully built system or that primal urge of fear or greed? Because the answer to that question, well, that's what will decide everything.